Welcome back, everyone, to Heroes of the Storm. Apologies for the abrupt cut at the end of the Blaze video. I cut it a bit too early. My bad. What I was gonna say was they reworked Malfurion. Did they fix him? Did they make him better? Since, in my opinion, the previous version of him it felt very weak. That he couldn't do as much healing, couldn't efficiently work his mana as much. They took away some of his DPS talents. They took away his cleanse. They did all these negative things to him, and they didn't really do anything to help him. Well, they gave him a rework today. Did it help? Well, let's take a look. Regrowth has been changed, where now it doesn't do a heal at first. It just does the way I think it was always meant to, which was heal over time. It just doesn't have a burst heal at the beginning. And it goes for 20 seconds. That's a long time to have a heal over time effect. Moonfire's been changed. Allies with an active regrowth are healed for 140 health for each enemy hero hit by Moonfire. So now you're using Moonfire as a way to do that a little burst health. Entangling Roots is pretty much the same. Innervate, I believe, is pretty much the same. Tranquility was changed a bit. They reduced the duration from 10 to 8 seconds. I don't get that. I think they reduced the cooldown to 80 seconds, although it may have been that before, I don't remember. But it heals for 80 health per second over 8 seconds. And allies affected by regrowth within Tranquility's area gain 10 armor. So, I mean, it really doesn't feel like it's going to be that much of a difference. I mean, when you think about it, healing over time plus armor, that could be pretty good. But, I mean, 10 armor, that's really not going to... I mean, the grand scheme of things, if you're going up against the right comp, that's not going to make that much difference. And they didn't change Twilight Dream. It still doesn't have its mana regen that it used to have. His talent tree, however, got changed. For one thing, that scouting drone is gone, which I say good, because it made no sense that this druid from the forest kept his scouting drone, but yet had his cleanse taken away. So that's gone. Malfurion gains movement speed per ally affected by regrowth. Increased Moonfire's reveal duration. I mean, that's only... I can only see if you're going up against stealth heroes, but even then it feels kind of bad. So again, Shando's Clarity is just kind of the way to go. It recharges faster per ally affected by regrowth. So that's a little different. It works a little differently now. There's this emphasis now where you are trying to get as many regrowths on your teammates as you can. So that way you can have these abilities and talents work more effectively. At level 4, it is a Entangling Roots build. Or choices, I guess. A tier. A Entangling Roots tier is what I meant to say. We have Strangling Vines. We have Deep Roots. And we have the Treant talent. So that is still there, but now you have to choose between these. And in my opinion, I've always preferred Deep Roots, where you can make the area larger and have it persist longer. At level 7, this is where things kind of get interesting. Wild Growth. Moonfire extends the duration of active regrowth by 1 second. Tenacious Roots increase the root duration of Entangling Roots by 0.3 seconds. When Malfurion is stunned, the cooldown is instantly reset. This can only occur every 10 seconds. That's interesting. Nature's Cure, an activation ability. Activate to remove all stun. So it's a cleanse. It's a cleanse from allies who are affected by regrowth. But see, you have to give them regrowth, and then you have to give them the cleanse. Huh. Oh, no. I see. Yeah. You have to put your regrowth on your allies and then use I guess it's now it goes, you don't have to necessarily click on them. You just activate it because they'll just go ahead and be utilized to whoever has a regrowth on them. Level 13, Ice Block is still there. Revitalize is now there, the one that benefits Malfurion. That used to be at 16. But I used to try this and it felt like it didn't really make that much of a difference. And then we have Hindering Moonfire. Ice Block is still going to be the way to go. Level 16. This is where things get kind of interesting. Easter's Gift is still here. Nature's Balance. Increase Moonfire's area by 25% and regrowth's duration by 5 seconds. So now regrowth will stay for 25 seconds. That's a long time. Moonlit Harmony. Increase Moonfire's heal by 15% per ally affected by regrowth. Yeah, I think you would get more value out of this. Nature's Balance. The fact that you're increasing the area that your Moonfire hits plus increase the duration of regrowth. I like that one. And then level 20, we have Serenity, where every enemy hero hit by Moonfire reduces the cooldown and increases the healing by 10% per ally affected by regrowth. Astral Communion is still the same. Life Bloom. Regrowth instantly heals its target for 10% of their missing health. So if you want to get that burst healing back into his regrowth, you can pick this up. And then Lunar Shower. If Moonfire hits a hero, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. Next Moonfire. I mean, if you're going for a Moonfire build, but I mean, initially, my initial impressions. Oh, and by the way, they reduced his mana costs. So now, I mean, I did mess around with him, I think, once or twice in the PTR, and my initial impressions were I thought he was more mana efficient because they reduced his mana cooldowns, and it felt like you didn't necessarily have to keep spamming your abilities, but maybe obviously, I'm hearing some people are not liking the changes, so let's get into a game and let's kind of test out what I think I might go with. I think my initial impression build would probably be Shando's Clarity, Deep Roots, I do kind of want to try this Nature's Cure, this cleanse, see how it works. Ice Block, Nature's Balance, and either Serenity or Life Bloom, because I'm going to try out this new Tranquility, because Tranquility's been out of the meta for a long time. And just as a reminder, this is coming from someone who considers himself who has been a Malfurion main for a long time. Malfurion is my second highest level hero behind Kael'thas. I have him at level 43. I have played a ton of Malfurion over the past couple years. He was one of my absolute favorite heroes to play. If I needed to play a solo healer in ranked, Malfurion was one of my go-to choices. But then the previous iteration of him, I just did not like him. I thought they took away so much from him because he was atop the hierarchy of supports in the game at the very top as the best solo support in the game for a long time. And then they just took all of this away from him. They took away his cleanse. They took away his mana regeneration from his Twilight. They took away so much and they never gave him enough back. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a way to play him better. Because I want this to be better. And I want him to be as good as he used to be. So we're going to go with Shando's Clarity. So its cooldown recharges faster per ally affected by regrowth. 5 second cooldown. 3 second cooldown. 14 second cooldown. Alright, so we are on Dragonshire. Malfurion, Zarya, Li Ming, Gazlo, Tychus, Brightwing, Kel'Thuzad, Varian, the Lost Vikings, and Nova. So I'm going to go ahead and put Regrowth onto the Gazlo there. Give him the Shando's Clarity. So I hit... Look at that. So I hit the the enemy heroes with my Moonfire, and Gazlo was given a bunch more health because of that. Let me go ahead and put that back on him because he's kind of getting himself into a bit of trouble. Let me go ahead and put one on Zarya as well. Gonna go ahead. Do I need to? But look at my mana. I put my regrowth on a couple heroes, and I feel like I don't need to go get mana. I used to have to go get mana right away early on in this game. And look at this extra burst healing I'm doing because I'm hitting them with my Moonfire. And then the extra burst healing that I'm getting simply by hitting the enemy heroes with my Moonfire. The fact that this now actually helps my healing, I really like that, actually. Put regrowth on Gazlo. I can also put regrowth on myself. Gonna go over here. I am starting to get a little low on mana now, but the fact that it's taking me this long to get this way about my mana, I think is actually a pretty good thing. I'm going to go ahead and tap the Sippy Cup over here. Of course, the Lost Vikings, so this is going to be... Going to go ahead and put Regrowth onto Zarya. By the way, little note, you'll notice my Entangling Roots no longer affects minions. Go ahead and pick Deep Roots. So the fact that you can no longer use your roots as a way to help wave clear does not feel good. I don't like that change. Here we go. Huh. And so it took me this long to encounter mana problems. Compared to the previous version of Malfurion, I think that is fantastic. I know some people are not liking this, but... And you can see this little icon here to give you an idea of how many active regrowths you have. Now, obviously, this is going to be a different situation. If we were on a map where there was a lot of team fighting and I could just keep putting this on my teammates. Whereas here on Dragonshire, usually the case is you have one or even two allies here. Put on Gazel again. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna go with Nature's Cure. Huh. I see. Sippy Cup again. Gonna give Innervate to Gazlo. Give that to Zarya. So you can actually put it on them even if they're not missing health. I do like that. So this whole idea that you have to anticipate damage coming so you can just go ahead and give it to them before they get into a fight. I mean, I've always liked that playstyle about Malfurion. Oh boy. I'm in trouble. I'm holding the line, but none of my AI teammates are doing anything about getting the objective. But look at that burst healing I just got for hitting the Lost Vikings with my Moonfire. Okay. I think the fact that they reduced his mana cost for his abilities is actually making a huge difference. I'm still going to go back and get some mana, though. I mean, I don't know. It just... I feel like there might be an initial knee-jerk reaction. I find it funny that people are hating this when I hated the previous version, but a lot of people pretty much didn't. And I don't... I never felt during that previous iteration of Malfurion that I could be able to go out and be a solo support in Hero League and such. Whereas here, I feel like I can. I think. Initially. Initially just feels better. But... obviously that, you know, initial impressions aren't everything. Alright, gonna go ahead and pop Tranquility here so you can see that both that I, Tychus, and Gazlo, as long as we have regrowths active, have 10 armor. Now, the fact that it only lasts 8 seconds, I don't like that. Whoops, my bad. I think if they really want to help Tranquility get back to being a strong choice, they would increase the duration and the healing. But I don't think the purpose of this rework was to buff Malfurion. I think it was to try and somewhat help him getting back to being a more efficient solo healer. Or adapt to the style, I guess, that what they interpret to be a restoration druid, which is the heal over time aspect. I mean, I could see certain things about this that I think could work. I find the fact that he has a cleanse again at all, I think is an improvement, because let's face it, the previous version of Malfurion did not have a cleanse. Gonna go ahead and try and keep Tychus alive here. There we go. Here we go. Now see, that kind of situation to me is why I always loved Malfurion. Those times where you could be able to give them that heal over time and be able to help them survive a team fight. Maybe I'm just trying to find something good in a change that a lot of people are not liking, but I've played a ton of Malfurion, and I just did not like the previous version. But I guess what I was trying to say is the fact that this version has some form of a cleanse to me, is a plus, since the previous version did not even have one. I'm going to take Ice Block here at level 13. Oh, wow. Well, I guess that was my fault for taking on all the Lost Vikings, Nova, and Varian, and Brightwing. I had Ice Block ready, but I got stunned where I couldn't even use it, so... the turret killed the Kel'Thuzad. Oh, man. I think because of the fact that it provides burst healing, there's more incentive to use your Moonfire now than there was with the previous version, where they had that talent where if minions died around you, you increased its damage. But while, I mean, to me that was more so just trying to help turn Malfurion into some kind of DPS when he was supposed to be a healer, and I just did not like that change. I thought that was kind of going against what the character's kind of good at, or quote-unquote supposed to be. Obviously, everyone has their own different idea and interpretation of what the character's supposed to be like. I've been hearing a lot of people use the phrase, they killed the character. I mean, in some ways you could probably say that, but really, I mean, I don't really think that's really that much of an issue at times. I mean, people have said, oh, they killed Garrosh. I've been playing Garrosh lately, and I actually do like this new version of Garrosh, because he feels like he now has more crowd control for his team than he did before. The whole tossing thing, I mean, that was a fun aspect, but I don't think it's what made it was his sole purpose as a character. I don't think that's what his design was meant to be. So the fact that he now provides a ton more slows as well as some stuns, I think is more beneficial for him, instead of actually killing the character. Now, I'm sure there's going to be disagreements. I'm sure people are going to, you know, feel completely different about things like that than me, but that's just how it is, obviously. And I'm not saying that what I'm saying here about Malfurion or Garrosh is like the end-all be-all about the characters. I mean, I'm just talking about how I feel about these characters from my time playing them, but I'm not saying that my way of thinking about this character is the only way. Wow. Oh my goodness. I keep getting into fights with the Nova and the Lost Vikings. Alright, gonna go with Nature's Bounce to increase my area. Look at how big the area is. That's pretty big. That's pretty notable for wave clear, as well as increasing your chances to get more burst healing. And the fact that it now extends to 25 seconds, you're gonna be able to get a lot more of those going. If they would stop running away from me. I don't like that this route doesn't do anything to minions anymore. I think that really hurts his wave clear, but I guess they are really trying to turn Malfurion back into not as a solo lane DPS or anything like that, but rather just as a main healer for his team. But I don't know. Obviously, this is the first day it's out. Time has to go by. We have to play more and experiment with it more in order to see, but my initial impressions was that I thought this made him more efficient. I thought this really helped him, kind of helped fix some of the problems I had with his character. But, you know, many people are going to feel differently about it. That's just how it is. Gonna go ahead and... Oh my goodness, I just noticed my health. Holy moly. That was the real Nova. Now, maybe some people have a problem with this whack-a-mole mentality now, but, I mean, I've played like this with Malfurion for a long time, so it's not really that much of an issue for me, because I'm used to this playstyle because I've played him a ton over the years. And it's just a playstyle I'm absolutely used to playing. Now, as you can see, though, my positioning could use some work, especially with some of my abilities, so maybe that's also an issue, is that the range of his abilities don't feel that great. Obviously, this is an AI game, so don't take these stats too seriously when it comes to things like the damage and such. The entire enemy team is coming to kill me. Including all the Vikings. They all want me. Wow. Okay. Be real sad if I cannot beat the Vikings here. Come back here, Olaf. Ah. Oh, I definitely cannot. I definitely can't take a Nova and a Kel'Thuzad, right? Nope. No, I cannot. I can use my cleanse on my... Oh! I use my cleanse on myself. So here's the thing. You can actually... You can put a regrowth on yourself, and then you can actually cleanse yourself. I don't recall... I'm pretty sure cleanse has usually never been a tool that healers can use on themselves. I don't recall Rhaegar, Brightwing, Uther, any of them ever being able to use their cleanse on themselves. Maybe back in the days of the alpha, I don't remember if cleanse worked that way in the alpha, but theoretically, you can actually use this on yourself. Oh, wait, no, this is from allies, so it doesn't work on yourself? I don't think it does. I just noticed it says remove that from allies, not from, it doesn't say Malfurion included. So maybe not. So forget everything I just said. So almost at level 20, and I'll be able to check out how this works. Because right now I'm seeing this Li Ming, and I would love to test out this level 20 talent on Li Ming because of the amount of health she's missing. So let's take that. Oh, look at that. It gave her a little burst of healing. So there you go. So yeah, the fact that you have to wait till level 20 to do that isn't great, but... I mean, look at that healing. I think I'm also enamored by the fact that the regrowth is now extended to 25 seconds now with this talent. And then I can put a regrowth on myself and then immediately do a Moonfire to try and give myself some burst healing. I would like to think I could be able to somehow... Oh, could I actually get this Nova? No, maybe not. Oh my goodness, this game's gonna take forever. This is an AI game on Dragonshire where nobody can get the Dragon Knight. This is going to take a long time. Nope, can't stop Brightwing from doing that. There we go. Got Eric. Nova. Nova, what are you doing? There you go, you got rooted. You got rooted. Oh, there we go, got her. Alright, enough's enough. Oh, but see, now they're gonna try and take this. Oh my gosh. This is gonna go on forever. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna test getting a camp with Malfurion here. Hello, Tychus, let me test this heal on you. There you go. He got a little bit of burst heal there. How dare you? The wilds call out. Give Innervate to Gazlo. Give a little bit more healing to Tychus. It's like, can we get some camps? Can we do something to try and get this game closer to finishing? Give Innervate to Li Ming, get back here. Ugh. Li Ming's right. That's the real Nova. I got more burst healing against... Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. Nova is still ridiculous. Polymorph, chain, everything. Got the Nova. Let's come back here, Kel'Thuzad. It's been a long time. I've like left Malfurion alone for a long time, so it is kind of fun that I'm getting to play Malfurion again for the first time in a long time. I just did not like the previous version. Gazlo. Robo Gazlo, get over here, dude. See, look at that, all that healing I'm getting now. And that's over a 25-second span. I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's give this Malfurion a chance before we declare him as a dead character on the first day this rework comes out. Because it does not feel that bad. It actually feels... He feels better now than the previous version did, at least for me. Man, the AI stepped up the game with this Brightwing. Come on, Gaz. Let's get some camps. You're a Robo Gazlo. I know that's what you're good at. Okay. Let's see if we can get this keep. Let me see how strong the keeps are now. Although it looks like we're doing pretty well. Of course, I have a Robo Gazlo, so he's going to wreck the keep. They did buff the keeps in this patch, but Robo Gazlo is still really good against structures. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Are they gonna get that? Because if they do, I'm gonna go over here and just wait to grab the Dragon Knight.
It shall be done.
Yep. Got it. Alright, let's see if I can just end this game. It's a 24-minute Dragon Knight. I would like to think this can end the game. Oh, and look at that. We have giants and catapults on the core. I'm just going to walk down to the bottom lane, go to the core, and end this. Almost 80,000 healing. Now, again, this is an AI game, so I'm sure this, I have to try him out in quick match in order to get a real, more solid feel on him. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It just feels better than the previous version of this character felt. And I'm wanting to like this, okay? I'm not looking for the negatives here. I'm looking for what I think could be positives. That's how I am with these characters. So the build I tried out, Shando's Clarity, Deep Roots, Nature's Cure, Tranquility, Ice Block, Nature's Balance, and Life Bloom. And to reiterate, I mean, look, he's right here, number 2 amongst my roster. I have 119... Look, I have played 223 games with Malfurion. I have played him a ton. This has always been one of my main characters, and I really want this version of him to be good. And I guess it's because I did not like what they did the previous one, and I really am trying to find the positives here. I think this could be a good version of Malfurion. Is it going to take us time for us to really figure it out? Yes, but I think there's potential here where Malfurion could actually be better than at least he was the previous version. I don't think he's now all of a sudden back to the top of supports in this game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's back on top like he was for a long time. But I think he's been helped. I think they've helped him. I think they have given him more in his kit that I think he needed. I think they gave him help with his mana. I think they gave him, while it's an odd cleanse, I think it's actually, I mean, the fact that it is a cleanse at all, I think helps. He still has Ice Block, and the fact that he has his heal, it can go for 25 seconds, and if you want, it can be able to heal instantly for their missing health, which, you know, that can be extremely helpful. If they're low on health, all of a sudden they get a burst of health, plus more health over time. I'm saying there can be good here. So let's give it a shot before we declare the character dead. Even though I thought the previous version was pretty bad, and I know people disagreed on that, but that was how I felt. So that's the new Malfurion. I'm liking what my initial impressions are so far, and I'm really wanting this to be good. Obviously, I'm gonna have to test this out more to see how good he actually is, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And that is pretty much the rest of the major changes. As I think I mentioned in the Blaze video, they buffed Zeratul, they kind of nerfed Nova, oh gosh, who else did they really check or mess with here? I don't recall who else got any significant changes. Oh, Garrosh, he actually did have his Groundbreaker buffed. Now it slows to 35%, which is pretty nice. They did nerf some of his other talents, though. Like, they nerfed Unrivaled Strength. It only does 75% or, damage instead of 125%. They, I think, increased the cooldown for Into the Fray, but I think the Warbreaker, despite it doesn't pull, I mean, the fact that it does this and you can buff it with talents with a Q build, Garrosh isn't dead. He's not dead. Let's see. Who else did? Oh, they buffed Samuro. I cannot wait to check him out when I get into my A through Z playthrough. By the way, this video will be a follow-up because I've actually already recorded the A through Z video for Malfurion on that previous version. I'll try and attach this video in the link or into the description so you guys can see the follow-up to that with my thoughts on this version compared to the previous version. And I think that was... Oh, and they kind of messed with both Hanzo and Valera. They nerfed Valera's silence of Garrote from 2.75 seconds to 2.5 seconds, which I say thank you, because it was absurdly broken while it was going on like that. At least I thought it was. That's how it felt at times when you were playing a squishy character and all of a sudden over that 2.75 second span you were dead. But I think I'm really hoping that this new Malfurion is going to really help him. I really do. So those are my thoughts on the new Malfurion, and I will see you guys